Hey there, and welcome to Apocaflix Movies. I'm Jacob Bartley. Before we get started here, we just wanted to tell you a little bit more about our channel. Of course, we discuss things all movie related, and we also focus on Star Wars and geek culture. So if that's what you're into, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would really appreciate it. You can also find us on all podcast platforms, including Anchor, Apple, and Spotify. Thanks for watching us, and enjoy the show. What is up, world? Welcome to Apocaflix Now. We are coming to you pre-recorded from Sacramento, California. As always, I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and we got a nice crew together. First of all, we got Jake Berlin behind the controls over there. And to my left, I have Mr. Keith Barnes. Glad you can join us today. And I have Mr. Brian Avalosino. We got some really cool stuff to talk about. Some indie films that we were really looking forward to, a bunch of news topics. We are changing up the news segment a little bit, so you're going to see how that operates later on during the show, or even actually pretty soon here. But first up, we're going to talk about some movies that we've been watching, maybe a little bit of TV. And first up, we have JOJO Rabbit. I haven't seen it yet. I know Brian and Jake have. Mm-hmm. So guys, what do you guys think about this film, man?
Go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
Okay, no spoilers, please.
No spoilers. The reason he says that is because this was, if we had heard about this movie before the year had started, like we do a lot of movies, this probably would have ranked higher than something like Knives Out, which was in 2 or 3 spot. I love Taika as a director, but the specific story that it was telling just like it hooked to me. I don't know why. I was blown away by this movie.
Awesome.
Absolutely blown away by this movie. I may not have shown it coming out of the theater last night because there's a lot to process. It's a very deep movie.
Really?
It has a lot to say, and also while combining very sweet moments, very funny moments, but also a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot of heartbreak in the movie. Obviously, the type of story they're telling with the Nazis in Germany and all that type of stuff, that's a given, but it's the way that he tells the story that makes this heartbreak. The performances are outrageous. If Taika doesn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor,
really,
I swear,
I
really do think he should get nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
So I still haven't watched a trailer, so I don't know the tone of this movie. I don't know anything.
I honestly think that he should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor, not just because of the performance he gave. He's playing a satire version of Hitler.
Yeah. And he's doing it.
He's doing it an incredible job.
There's been lots of those, but I've been curious to see his take on it.
You get it right away.
Yeah, right.
Right away. The first 15 minutes of this movie is
in the first scene.
I'm just saying in general, the first 15 minutes of this movie, if you don't like the first 15, you won't like this movie.
Imagining this movie as a comedy in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's an
I don't know.
Brian said it last night as we were walking out of the theater. He said, I don't know the last time I saw a movie that was a real film that kind of brought all of the emotions to the table. Yeah. Like a real movie, not like the blockbuster that's a comedy or like an action comedy or a thriller or whatever. This is just a film that touches on every single thing you possibly can, and it blows it out of the water.
You leave feeling like, wow, you just watched a movie.
And talking about Taika's performance Scarlett Johansson gives one of the best performances of her career. Like, she is incredible in this movie. But so is the young boy who plays JoJo. He's essentially in almost every single frame of the movie, and his likability is some of the best as far as kid actors that it very much feels like Tremblay all over again from a few years ago. His ability to kind of capture the screen is pretty good, and he's going up against Taika half the time because he plays his imaginary friend. And they're on screen, and their banter is
hilarious.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's great.
And he goes off a couple times, and you're just like, whoa, like he's really going in on this.
Yeah,
So
we go see that tower too.
We saw the tower, which is really cool.
It's playing everywhere now.
Yeah. But see that tower, because we saw it in the main theater hall, and it just kind of like, for me, it like enhanced it. Like, it was awesome.
Tower Theater here in Sacramento. It's just for anyone outside of Sacramento watching.
It's one of the oldest theaters in California.
I think it is. Certainly here.
So we thought that Ragnarok was like the coming out party for Taika, right? I mean, because he did a big budget movie or whatever. This is the coming out party.
Yeah.
He is now, for me,
I would say
in that category of I can count my favorite directors on one hand, and one of the best working.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
100%.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I would even go as far as saying Ragnarok was his coming out. This is like, I'm not messing around.
Yeah, right.
I know what I'm doing. Like, and
really
you better
good.
stand out.
And the thing is, he's coming back to do Thor 4. So
Yeah,
He's
no,
doing
he's-
Thor 4. He just signed
he's
a deal.
leaving genre.
He just signed a deal to do some stuff on FX,
Yeah.
which is essentially like an almost unrated cable network.
Yeah.
And then
which
he's
is actually going to Hulu.
Yeah, and then he's supposed to be doing Akira for
He was
Warner
going to do
Brothers.
Akira.
Well, he said he still wants to eventually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I just thought
maybe
he
after
backed
Thor
out.
4, that's what he does,
Yeah.
but he's got some big stuff lined up.
And he's in Star Wars.
Well, and he's in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, right.
He's
Yeah,
directing the episode.
directing
Rose,
Mandalorian
too. Yeah, he
episodes.
directed the season finale of the
That's
Mandalorian.
what I saw her.
He
That's
literally-
crazy.
The season finale,
Really?
Wow.
which is
Okay.
big. Which is
He
big,
literally
yeah.
can do everything.
I'd love to see his version of Akira.
Yeah, I would love to too.
Oh, that'd be great.
But yeah,
But
JoJo's a home run.
I can't wait to see
I
that.
might even just go watch it right after we're done.
I
here
was
today.
just
Home
thinking
run.
that. I
Go
might
see
go
that
It's
now.
only like an hour and 50 minutes.
It's only an hour and
or
50
so.
minutes.
Yeah.
What's funny about it though is it felt longer, but not in a bad way.
It felt like
I know what you mean.
perfect amount of time.
It felt like the
literally
story,
was
like there
like-
was so much to tell, and it felt like it was a 2-hour and 10-minute movie, but you were only in there for an hour 50.
And it never once were you like, all right, this thing,
Yeah.
this is point.
Everything
wrap
had a
this part
point.
up. It
Every single
literally-
thing had a point to the movie.
I like
Yeah,
that. Good.
it was
Good,
it was
man.
Crazy.
I'm excited to see this. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait to see it.
Well, yeah. So I watched The Lighthouse last week.
Okay.
Last weekend, I saw it after we recorded Apocaflix Now, and that movie's crazy. So you guys know about it. It's from the director who did The Witch. I'm forgetting his name.
The Witch.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
with
right.
what's
Gotcha.
her name?
The Witch
I call it from
director.
Glitch.
So a lot of people have been looking forward to this movie. I remember Jake and I saw The Witch together the first time. We were like, "What the hell did
Robert
we just
Eggers.
watch?"
Robert
Yes,
Eggers.
Robert Eggers.
We saw that by ourselves, by the way, and there was nobody else in the theater.
Yeah, it was just us two.
It was like 9 o'clock at night. We're
And-
like, what are we doing?
It was a good movie, but it's a very heavy movie,
Yeah.
and we were just like, "What was that last scene we
What's her
just
name? I'm
saw?"
trying to think of her name. From
Anya
Split,
Taylor-Joy.
right?
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy was
Those are
in
coming
that.
out.
So, if you thought the Witch was weird,
I call it the Witch.
I just looked it up right now, and
that's
that's how it's actually
Yeah.
spelled.
Yeah.
With two V's. This movie's crazier than The Witch, to be honest. And this movie is insane. When it first started, so the aspect ratio is like, it's like, I don't know that terminology that well, but it's 1.19 to 1 is the aspect
It's a
ratio.
square, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like the black things on the side.
yeah.
And I was like, is there something wrong with the way the projector or something? I thought at first, and I was like, oh no, this is how the movie is.
Yeah.
It literally feels like you're watching a movie from like the early 1900s. It really feels that way. If you were to show someone this movie and say, other than some of the special effects, which look good for that time era, if you told someone, look, this movie came out in 1940, they would believe you if they didn't know.
Yeah.
They would believe you. That's how it feels. Now, as far as if I enjoyed it or not, I will say it's not a movie for everyone. And I like weird stuff, but this movie's just crazy. And the thing is, people love it. Critics, they love it. And it's very much like a movie made for the critics. It's like,
So it must be like The
It's-
Lobster.
I haven't seen The Lobster,
right,
but I've
okay,
heard
okay.
something
Yeah,
similar.
yeah.
It's very made in an artistic way that's trying to portray an older style film. And it's one of those things where I'm watching something that looks amazing and the actors are giving an amazing performances, but it's just too much like crazy stuff happening, like sequences where it's just like, this is happening quick, this is happening quick, this is happening quick, but you don't really know what's going on. It's almost like watching a crazy dream, a non-stop crazy dream where like you're just watching one dream sequence the whole time. That's what it feels like. Now, if there are parts of this movie, it's so weird. It kind of makes you uncomfortable at times because it's just these two guys in this lighthouse together, and it's really about a power struggle between them.
Is there anyone else in this other than those two?
Not really, no. There's no one else has another line of dialogue. There's images of other people, but those other people, like, they're not really playing a part in it. It's just kind of stuff that the characters see.
Yeah, right.
So it's a very odd film. I will say Robert Pattinson is incredible in
I've
this.
been waiting for you to bring this up.
He is amazing. And people have been talking about this movie since the beginning of this year. For a while, even since last year, they were talking about this movie and his performance.
The trailer came out like months ago. Ago.
And Willem Dafoe, he's obviously incredible. He's a lighthouse keeper, but he talks like a pirate the whole time, and it's really cool.
And did you guys hear what Robert Pattinson said about that? Right?
What did he say?
About he was in an interview recently, and they asked him how he's gonna make his Batman voice, and he said it's partly inspired by Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
So he's not gonna sound like a pirate, obviously, but some of the
Batman.
Something from that kind of maybe stuck like, with him.
I know I could see what they're saying, what he's saying. It's kind of like
and because Willem Dafoe, he's been in the movies, the superhero movies before, so he kind of has the experience. So he probably took something from him.
He better not be doing a pirate voice, but I know what you're saying. Kind of like a grizzled type voice, and then there's this interesting dynamic where Willem Dafoe's character is just, shooting him down the whole time, treating him like crap, and making him do all the hard work. But then they sit down and have dinner every night, and it's kind of like these intimate moments between two characters. But then it switches to like they don't trust each other, and it just gets all crazy. But it's very much, it's almost a fantasy film as well. You guys have seen the trailer, there's fantasy elements to it, and it takes like a lot from Greek mythology, and it does all this crazy weird stuff. I will say it is a good movie, and I understand where people are coming from. Like for some people, like someone like Chris Stuckman, I watched his review and he loves it. Like he's like it's his favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, right. He's that type of filmmaker.
But for me, I'm not. It didn't hit me that way. But I will say it's a great piece of filmmaking, and it's worth watching. It's not for everyone though. Yeah. Like I think all of us would enjoy it and take something from it. Maybe not, but your tastes are changing. Like you're starting to get into more things like this lately. I mean, more than you were before, definitely. Like
Brian
you probably wouldn't be going to watch JOJO Rabbit as soon as you could 3 years ago.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So that, for example, I think it's worth if you're interested in seeing like Robert Pattinson's development as an actor. I think this is something we know
you're
see.
Very defensive of him, like as you said in our group chat, someone insulted him and he goes, I'm very defensive of Robert Pattinson right now.
No, because Keith said he's not going to be the best actor on screen in Batman films. I don't know if that's what you meant.
I said...
Oh, that was you that started it?
Keith and I are on the same page on this one.
I said Circus is going to be the best actor. Circus...
Colin Farrell.
Farrell and Zoe Kravitz will be the best
so
actors
he's not
on screen.
even going to be... The top, the best one.
He's great. No, I love him.
But check it out if you're into that style of film. It's definitely something worth checking out. But before we move on to some news, Jake, sorry I skipped over, but you had a story about phones in the theater regarding Dr. Sleep.
This is the first Apocaflix
episode
that we've had story stuff at the beginning. We try to kind of do a free fly thing in the beginning. Yeah. No, so I saw Dr. Sleep a few weeks ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago. Able to see it early screening, and I'm sitting there enjoying the movie. These two guys next to me were chattering the whole time, and it's hard, it's tough. I get it. Some people go to movies differently. It's the same thing last night. We saw JoJo, and these three kids behind us were kind of chattering.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
dude. And most recently, I remember Kong
Skull
Island
Island
Monsters. It was. It was Godzilla King of the Monsters.
I was gonna say,
you remember that, dude?
I said that most recently.
So,
oh man.
So I'm sitting there enjoying the movie, and it's well over halfway, through this movie. It's getting to like kind of the meat of everything that's happening, and I turn to my left, and not the guy sitting directly next to me, but his buddy had his phone on his
cup holder.
No, had his phone on his leg, and he was like either recording or taking pictures of the screen.
Really?
I swear to God, not 10 minutes later, the guy next to me did the same thing. His flash went off while recording the movie. His flash was on while recording the movie. Yeah.
And this was an early screening, right?
It's an early screening. And I said, I next to him, I said, dude, are you serious? Like, put the phone away. Like, that's messed up.
Wow.
And he kept going, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, like, we're trying to watch a movie here. Like, I couldn't hold it in. I'm usually not that type of person. Like, I would say something.
I was like that last night.
I could not say anything.
And a lot of times it's not right next to you.
Because it was not only it was the second time that it happened, but his flash went off.
Come on.
Like, come on. Like, you don't. Why are you recording the movie to begin with? If you want to post something on social media, post the freaking trailer. Like, don't post the image of the movie. Like, who cares?
I mean, it's literally illegal.
It's stupid. Like, the atmosphere and the philosophy of people these days with phones and stuff, like, I would be totally fine if the theater's like, put your phone away, or like, we'll take your phone before you go into the movie theater. Like, honestly, I would give my phone up. Like, I honestly would. There's a theater,
I think it's called Alamo Drafthouse, and there's some down in LA.
Yeah, right.
They kick people out for using their cell phones. That's how it should be, to be honest.
Yeah. There should be someone standing in the theater the entire time.
They don't ever say anything. There's people who come and check in on the theaters. There's tons of people on their phone. Nobody ever says anything.
They should. There should be someone
check the air conditioning.
There should be someone standing inside the theater the entire time.
And
the entire time, not leaving. They should be watching the crowd.
I always, at minimum, of course we all turn our ringers down, but most people. But I always turn my brightness down.
So do I. Yeah.
Just in case if somebody.
100%. And there's emergencies, obviously. But.
Well, last night, someone's phone went off like twice.
Yeah, blatantly pulling your phone out and doing this, and then having the flash go off. Like
that's about as worse as it's kind of messed up. Like, people should keep their phones like in their pockets the whole entire time. Obviously, there's reasons to have it on you on vibrate in case of emergency. But
I just sit mine.
That just makes me sick, man. I'll never stop going to the movies, but when stuff like that happens, it makes me not want to go.
Yep, it's ruining other people's experience.
Yeah. That's the thing with people now with stuff like that is part of what's hurting the theater. Yeah, the whole thing, and now everyone's wanting to stay home and stream everything. Yeah, they don't have to deal with idiots.
Yeah, there should be like every moviegoer should have like a rating, right? Like, it's kind of like a Uber or Lyft rider where they get rated, and then if you're not above a certain rating, you can't go to the movies anymore.
They want you to buy a ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like an episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you have a number of your head and you get rated and stuff, and it only.
And if you've been like disrespectful at the theater or use your phone, you lose points, something like that. It'll never happen because that'll stop a lot of people from going to the movies, but. It's a problem that needs to be fixed. Please, everybody out there, don't use your phone unless it's an emergency in the movie theater.
And don't talk. Stop talking.
Yeah.
That happened when I went and saw Suicide Squad. These two girls were, I'm talking about, they were talking like they were at school at lunch, and I'm literally, from the moment the movie started all the way to the end, like, just from back and forth the whole time. Not the whole time. Nobody said anything. Like, I just sat and stared at them for a minute, and they would be quiet for like a minute, and then it was a whisper for a second, and they just talk like full on talking.
Time I went to see the first It in theaters, and it was my second viewing of it, and I took a friend, and there was this family, and the kids were talking the whole time. The parents didn't even say anything to them. It was the kids. So I went down and I went outside and talked to the people who work there. And they just came in and looked up and then left again. They didn't say anything to them. And I was like, what? How am I supposed to I can't even do anything about it. Yeah. So anyways, yes, please respect your fellow theater goers. All right, so moving on to our hot take of the week. This is the biggest news story we talk about on the show. Usually takes up the most time as far as one subject goes. So Jake, what do we got for our hot take today?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's necessarily the biggest news story, but it's actually something that's quite surprising and wild that's happening. I mean, we've had this conversation plenty of times before, but and it's exactly right. This is a controversial thing that's kind of happening, and it kind of started an uproar. It was revealed earlier this week from the Hollywood Reporter that James Dean, the legendary actor who sadly passed away only at the age of 24, here in California, will be digitally resurrected for a brand new war film for a Vietnam War film titled Finding Jack. And this started craze. People got their pitchforks right away, and there's a number of things that happened with this article, how they're kind of going about it. But essentially, they came out and said that they will resurrect him with a full body CGI that's using actual footage and photos of the actor, allowing him to play a role in the film. And it's the directors of the Finding Jack is Anton Ernst and Tati Golik, I believe. And it's not by any studio or anything going on right now. But I kind of wanted to throw this in the notes because, I mean, look, this is big time. We've seen the CGI and the de-aging and everything happen. Obviously, we did the Carrie Fisher thing with Rogue One. Tarkin as well got fully reinstated, but had an actor playing him. They just kind of digitally altered his face. And then we've seen the de-aging with The Irishman that's coming up later this month. And so I wanted to ask the questions, like, Is this a smart idea for them to do? Is this a morally wrong thing for them to do? I will add before we get into the conversation that the filmmakers, they did get the rights and the okay from the estate of Dean's family, and so they have the right to do all of this.
Which is important.
It is important, but it also maybe it goes a little farther than that as far as whether it's right or wrong. So,
Keith?
All right, well, and that's a... Initially, I'm like, well, if the family and the estate, if they're okay with it, then fine. It's between them and the, people making the movie. But, and you mentioned the Tarkin thing, and it's like, it's not like we're seeing Peter Cushing starring in a role in some other movie. It's Tarkin. It's mostly, I look at that like it's the character of Grand Moff Tarkin. So, within the Star Wars universe. So I actually had less of a problem with that than what this is. Now, this doesn't really bother me that much in terms of, it's weird. It's odd because my initial thought is just get an actor
to play the character.
Put him in that role. Like, why do you need to make a CGI James Dean? There's no reason to do this other than just
saying you did it.
Hey, we made we brought back James Dean 60 years after he died, and put him in. Is it a starring role, or is he or is it just he's
nothing. It says Dean will play what is described as a secondary role in the film. But I will add that the article from THR said that they had searched for actors to play this role, and they landed on Resurrecting.
Nah, see, okay, get out.
See, that's kind of where it crosses the line, because how are you going to resurrect? And I get it, it's James Dean. I get it.
Play this role,
but out of the thousands of actors that are out there, you can't have someone else. Like someone who pops in my head who looks almost identical like him, and who's not a bad actor, is Harry Styles. Right? He kind of looks like a James Dean like. He does, and he didn't play bad in Dunkirk for Christopher Nolan. I mean,
the 5 minutes.
There's one of the thousands of actors that could be in this role.
Literally anyone. Just find someone. Like there's no.
It's not like they couldn't find the right guy. So
that's what I'm saying. There's no way that they didn't. There's no way that they landed on this after testing or looking at thousands.
They wanted to do this. That was a matter of just doing their due diligence, so they could say, well, we tried to find someone, and we figured out the best thing is to, you know what? Let's bring back James Dean digitally. Let's do it that way.
It's so weird because this is an original film, right?
It's based on a novel of the same name that revolves around an abandonment of more than 10,000 military dogs at the end of the Vietnam War.
So my question is, why James Dean? Why bring him back? It's different if you're gonna do. Let's say you're going to do a remake of a movie and the actor's no longer alive.
Right.
And you want to do something like that where it's the only way you can have that character played by that actor again is to have this done.
Yeah.
And they kind of did that for Rogue One, which
that
was an experiment. That was something they were trying, and it was only for like less than a few minutes. If you add up it's probably less than 2 minutes of screen time, to be honest. Right. And that's okay. And even that, if you're looking at it, it doesn't look right. You know, you can tell it's not a real human.
Yeah, it looks like a video game.
This is, I don't know. It's almost like
it's literally an actor playing an actor in an actor.
And what are they going to do? They're going to say starring James Dean?
I know.
That's not real.
So it's going to be James Dean as blah blah blah.
I don't have a moral problem with this.
No,
at all.
I don't either.
Especially if the family signed off on it, and who knows? Maybe their estate must be getting paid for this.
They have.
So, if that's good for them,
he's such an iconic.
If he probably doesn't mind if he's able to support his family after death for so many years, but I just think it's unnecessary and weird. That's all. I don't have a moral problem with it, though.
I think they're just saying it to say that they did it, to say that, hey, look, James Dean's in our movie.
Yeah.
We brought him back from the dead.
Yeah.
It's just.
And is it gonna be motion capture? Is there gonna be a physical actor standing there, and then they're gonna CGI over him?
I would probably think so. They didn't say anything, but they said that they're going to do a full body CGI. So it could very well be computer generated.
Yeah, right.
That's so weird.
I would imagine that's what they're doing.
Because they're going to take footage and photos of the actor and make this CGI.
This can't be cheap either.
No.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine if this movie flopped?
This is up there. Well, a lot of actors too.
How about this? Is this where the filmmaking is headed?
I don't know.
Filmmaking is headed.
No, because we thought. Listen, I remember
not.
It was like 20 years ago or whatever when Final Fantasy came out, and people were saying that back then, and it hasn't really happened. You know, there's a lot of it is that uncanny valley that people talk about, and that's part of why that movie didn't do as well. Part of the reason, you know, nobody really a Final Fantasy movie. Like, as popular as those games are, nobody cares. But
you just offended all of them.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy.
You cannot show your face on Nerd.
I never got in. Listen, I never got.
I literally haven't played the game.
I was gonna say I never got into Final Fantasy, but people were saying that back then. That this is gonna is this the future of Hollywood? And that was in 2000 or 99 or whatever year that 2001, I guess, whenever that came out. And so we'll probably see more of it. I know a lot of actors hate it. So Chris Evans, a bunch of people said about it.
He was disgusting.
And I get that because they're actors and they want to. Like just cast.
You could have cast Chris Evans in that.
Him. He could have cast that. Yes, he'd been great because it's a very interesting sounding story. So I'd love to see what he would do.
And he's a dog lover.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So. Yeah, just like you said, there's a weirdness to it. It's just...
Wait, it's not about dogs. Isn't that what they call the soldiers?
Oh, is that what they call the soldiers?
Yeah, sea dogs.
And I'm curious, do you guys think, like, let's say this movie comes out and it looks amazing. Like, you can't even tell that that's not him. Do you think that'll change it? Like, do you think people are going to be excited about that and then it'll happen more often in films?
Yeah. Well...
Because that's a possibility that... Everyone's negative about it, but then the movie comes out and we're like, "Oh my goodness!"
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with The Irishman.
Yeah,
people are raving about it. Apparently,
see, I'm okay with De Aging because the actor's still alive and
right. And it's them. It's actually them.
Proving it.
They're just
that's why I kind of have a problem with it because he's dead.
That's the only moral obligation I have with it.
I know, but it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like an issue, I guess.
Yeah, even if his family's signing off on it, it's not him saying it's okay.
Yeah, right. And just like you said, it's an actor that died.
I think it was 1955.
Yeah, I think he died 55, 60 years ago, whatever. Like, dude, that's time ago. Why? Like,
do you guys know how he died? I don't
know. It was a motorcycle crash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was a car crash.
He lived. Yeah.
It was on Highway 1 on the San Luis Obispo.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I went to college, I drove back and forth from college. I saw where he died.
Yeah. He was one of those kind of dangerous guys.
He died. He's part of the 27 Club, right?
I kind of want to go watch some of his movies now.
You just
to be honest,
earlier died at 24.
Well, I know, but the people that died before 27 years old, that's what they call the 27 Club.
Oh, no, those people died at 27.
No, yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
okay.
It's like Jimi Hendrix and
Amy
Winehouse and whoever else. Anton Yelchin.
Oh, was he 27?
He's 27. Yeah. He's
that one.
There's a bunch of them. But yeah.
All right, well, moving on to our buy or sell segment, we're going to go over a few trailers here like we normally do and some news stories kind of pitting them head to head. And Jake's going to go ahead and run those down for us. So, Jake, what do we got first?
Yeah, so a lot of good trailers this week. Actually, this is probably our most solid week of trailers that we have so far. We have Bad Boys for Life, the second trailer for the movie. Much more of a Red Band trailer, not officially titled Red Band, but it is very Bad Boys-esque. And then we have the Peter Pan movie that's titled Wendy. It's focused on the character of Wendy and a different take on that story from the director of Beasts of the Southern Wild, which was a 2012 monster indie hit. The new film Soul from Pixar, their new animated movie that comes out next year, and then The Invisible Man, which is the new monster movie from Universal, and Blumhouse. That's a key aspect there. They brought on Blumhouse to help them with this. Stars Elizabeth Moss. And the gentleman from The Haunting of Hill House as the Invisible Man. So, buy one, sell the rest. What are you taking, Jacob? Why don't you kick us off, man?
Man, this one's not
stop
easy.
Pretending like you don't know which one you're going to pick. Just pick it.
I actually don't, to be honest. But I do like a few of these. But I'm gonna go with Soul is the one I have to buy. Pixar. It's a Pixar movie, obviously, but this. Even though it's a very different concept, it very much reminds me of Inside Out. Just diving into, even though it's the soul, it's kind of like the inner human and what it means to be human and how that affects our inner selves, reflect our outer selves, things like that. I love that. And if this is even half of as good as Inside Out, I'm going to love this movie. So I'm going to buy Soul. But the rest of, I liked all these trailers, but the Bad Boys for Life one, when it first started, I was like, this is awesome. It was the best footage I had seen, the first minute of the trailer. But then the trailer kept going. And they literally show you Act A, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. They're on the missions again, and then, and then Martin Lawrence is like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. He retires. Then Will Smith goes on and works without him. And then he brings him back in the middle. And then they go on their last mission at the end. It literally shows you the whole entire film. I was like, what? What?
And that is why it is the best trailer of last week.
Oh my goodness!
That is what
I'm taking Soul.
I 100% buy Bad Boys over the rest of these because of that reason. That is Bad Boys. That trailer is the essence.
It was an awesome
Bad
trailer,
Boys.
but it just showed a lot. But I loved everything I saw.
It's Bad Boys 2 essentially all over again in a new body, because in Bad Boys 2, Martin Lawrence wanted to retire. He put his papers in, but Will Smith was the one like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. The same thing is going on, but it's the same stuff, and it's just as enjoyable. There's F-bombs, there's ridiculousness going on, there's gunfire. Will Smith looks like the action star that he was 10 years ago. I like that they got Martin Lawrence to come out of retirement for this one, but I could not stop watching this trailer. I think I watched it 2 or 3 times, like back to back.
And who directed this one again?
Their names are extremely hard to pronounce. I'm sorry, but it's Bilal Falah and Adi El Arbi.
Somebody else was going to do this.
Joe
for a while,
Joe
right?
Carnahan was supposed to. He was attached for like 4 or 5 years.
Okay,
but they just never got the ball rolling on it.
Yeah. No, it looks fun. The action looks amazing.
It looks so much fun. I can't.
Really does.
What's cool about the trailer is they didn't show that young team very much. They keep showing them in that one shot.
Well, I didn't even know they were in the movie until this trailer.
Yeah, so they keep showing them just in the headquarters, and so I'm interested. I mean, obviously, we probably know what's going to happen. One of them's going to be bad, working with the bad guys. That's more than likely what's going to happen. But I don't care. I just want to see some crazy Miami action from these guys again, because it's going to be their last time as these characters.
Yeah,
they're not,
for sure.
They initially announced a 3 and a 4, but this is definitely going to be it. They're not going to be able to get Martin Lawrence back to do another one for sure.
Yeah. Did they make a remake of the Bad Boys for Life song for this movie? Probably, it sounded like it. Probably. Like they did.
Yeah. I love that scene where don't sing it. You don't know the lyrics. Lyrics are hard.
Yeah.
Keith, what's yours?
I do love Bad Boys. I don't love Bad Boys 2.
What?
Michael Bay.
What?
Good Lord. Everything
Keith. By the way, Jody Moya, who played the bad guy in Bad Boys 2, is great in Jack Ryan Season 2. He's the bad guy.
Yes. Yeah. That's what we should have said we've been watching.
He's the bad guy.
I just started that today. I saw his picture.
He is great.
Yeah, I can't wait to. Yeah, I like that guy. Yeah, he's good. I think he's in Armageddon as well. Wasn't he in Armageddon?
Maybe. I don't know.
Whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go Soul. I didn't see Wendy, so I actually missed that one. But before I get to that, is The Invisible Man? Is it part of the Universal?
Well, I don't know if they're doing that.
That
anymore.
Monsterverse is dead.
That
Johnny Depp was supposed to play the Invisible Man.
Okay.
And he's not doing it this one. That one's gone.
Yeah, right.
Can't say it's gone over with that.
Okay.
They moved on. It's cool because they brought Blumhouse to help with this one.
That is interesting. So. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Soul as well. For everything you just said, I mean, for Pixar, so it's going to be at least pretty good. You know,
it's their first original film in a while.
Yeah,
since,
right.
Coco, I think it was.
After Onward.
Well, I know. That's true. They're getting back to the.
Yeah,
but the last couple have been sequels, right?
The last couple have been sequels. Yeah.
So definitely interested.
It's pretty dark. Like, this guy dies, right?
Does he? Does he die, or does he just?
I don't know.
think he does.
I don't know if he dies or not. I
thought when I heard the synopsis like months ago, it was basically saying that this character dies and what happens.
But now they're saying he just gets separated from his soul.
Yeah,
he'll probably end up back in his body.
I think they showed it in the trailer. I don't.
Well, maybe he goes into a coma or something, and this happens.
It's Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey, which is a cool thing.
Yeah.
Really great voice cast.
Yeah, very good. And just again, they're stepping up their. I mean, the animation on here is.
That's what Brian and I did the reaction.
Yeah.
When they were showing the shots before the characters were on screen, it looked real.
It looked like a real people walking the streets
city
and stuff.
shots. It looked. It's insane.
Yeah, goodness gracious. But yeah, every movie it gets better and better. But which kind of goes back to the discussion we were just having. Like, is this going to be? Maybe this is the future. Jeez. No, but yeah, Soul. I love the concept of what makes us, you know, and what. I got the idea. I guess Tina Fey's character is kind of trying to figure out just having a purpose, or it seems like maybe, or is she a soul? Like from what I heard, like before she gets to be a person or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of
that would be pretty cool to see both angles.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's a very interesting concept. So.
I just you just made me realize they had Amy Poehler in the
right.
They have Tina Fey.
I bet that was on purpose too, as well. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I'm very excited to see this one. So.
I am going for The Invisible Man.
Why? Really?
Why?
No, I
Wait, when you said there's an obvious one that I was going to choose, what did you think that was?
I thought
Really?
I thought so too.
Really? It was alright. I enjoyed it.
I love this trailer.
I thought
love this
yeah,
trailer.
I thought the second you saw the word Blumhouse, you would.
I just think it's difficult to. For me, invisible characters are so hard to portray and make
I don't
compelling.
even care about
like,
that.
I'm just. How are they going to do that? Like, I'm just,
I don't even care about that. Elizabeth Moss is
she's awesome.
So good
She's
in
great,
everything she
She's
does.
growing on me.
And when her in Us,
she was one of the best parts of Us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then now it almost kind of seems like she's kind of doing the same thing a little bit, but like it's her movie. I mean, it's funny to me because The Invisible Man, no one's going to even know who the actor is. It's going to be Elizabeth Moss.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
The gentleman who plays him is a really, really good actor.
Yeah.
I'll get his name right now because he was in The Haunting of Hill House.
But
he's really good.
Yeah, and
Kevin Bacon was in the.
So I was literally just gonna bring this up. I think you're gonna be the only one that remembers this, but Hollow Man.
But
you do remember Hollow Man?
I do. I used to watch Hollow Man all the time, but that's not Invisible Man.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But it's very similar.
Kind of
very similar.
Right.
But I used to think. After I finished watching the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is like a remake of the one that Kevin Bacon did." I was like, "Wait a minute, no, that was Hollow Man. It was like an original film."
I don't know if you know this, Brian, but do you know who it was directed by?
This new one?
Yeah. So it's by a gentleman of Lee Wanell. He directed Upgrade.
Nice.
Upgrade is on HBO.
That's
I'm
cool.
gonna watch that.
Sign the check.
That's cool.
That's why I'm losing my mind.
Sign the
So
check.
I do like this trailer. I love that it's also
no, you
they're
don't,
making it
you
a
sold it.
psychological thriller. But I'm buying Soul over this, 100%. But I like that they're making it psychological too. Like she's imagining all this because the guy was kind of like that. He used to be able to get into people's heads, so. It's kind of she like just feels paranoid that he's still around.
You sold it. It's gone.
I'm just saying, if I have to only see one of these, it's definitely Soul. Go ahead, continue.
Brian. I love psychological movies where you don't know if the person's crazy or not.
I hope they play on that more.
And that's kind of where they're going, like a la Shutter Island, like that type of stuff, where you're just
It'd be crazy if he doesn't actually exist in the end.
So the gentleman is Oliver Jackson Cohen. I wanted to give credit to him.
So those are some of my favorite type of movies, and you throw in Elizabeth Moss, who I think needs to be in a lot more stuff.
Well, she's too busy with The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, I'm glad for her because she used to be like a side character actress.
She was in Mad Men for so long.
She
took over Mad Men.
Yeah, so she's really blowing up lately, so that's good for her.
Like to set the record straight, my pansy ass picked the Scary Movie, so...
I'm surprised. That's pretty shocking. All right, Jake, what do we got next?
All right, so we got some cool items to talk about that are coming up as far as news stories go. The next couple ones, we're going to be doing some buy and sells. So buying one of them, selling the other. First up is horror-centric, and it was announced this week that Paranormal Activity 7 is in development by Paramount.
Love these movies.
An official release date was announced for March 19th, 2021. Would just like to add that is the same release date of Tomb Raider 2. Boom.
Which that's awesome that they're doing.
And then the next one is Scream 5. Spyglass Media Group has set up, and they're going to be doing a new film for the Scream franchise. And no word officially yet whether it's a continuation of what we know, or maybe even a continuation of the TV series or a reboot. Nothing has come out, but they want to do a new movie. And it was also said that the original creator that made it with, the gentleman who made the movies. Wes Craven. He is not attached at the moment to do it. So maybe a whole new team behind it.
He passed away.
No, the gentleman that was with Wes Craven. I know the Wes Craven passed away.
Kevin Williamson,
I think so. Something along those lines. But so we have Paranormal Activity 7 and Scream 5, essentially. Which one are we buying? Which one are we selling? Brian, why don't you kick this one off?
I will buy Paranormal Activity because I loved the first couple of them. Then they started, it was like, what are you doing?
Was it like Paranormal Activity Whiteout or like something weird?
I don't know.
There was
I think I stopped after 3.
Oh, the last one.
I think the last one was good.
But I think it didn't go to theaters or something like that. Remember, it was going to go and then they released it on like just straight to video, basically.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for like ghosty type stuff like that.
Ghostface.
I thought you were a scaredy cat, man, and who didn't watch horror movies.
These aren't that scary. These are these are jump scares.
Yeah,
and I like a good jump scare. I don't.
You don't like slasher stuff.
No, so that's why I'm like immediate sell of Scream because I'm just like no thanks.
Scream. Oh, I'll get to it.
We're gonna fight over this category.
Keith, what do you think, man? By the way, it was Kevin Williamson. By
Yeah.
the way.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
He's not attached.
Not at the moment. He's not writing the screenplay at the moment, but that could change.
Yeah, hopefully.
I know you two are set in your choices. I honestly still haven't decided. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know. I'll decide on one when you come.
Listen.
You don't know between Paranormal Activity and Scream.
Yeah, I'd be down for both.
I think
of them.
I know where you're going with that. I'm surprised because
You are gonna pick
like
Paranormal Activity over Scream.
I don't know.
Oh, I would expect him to pick Paranormal Activity.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, this is interesting. Well, Keith, what do you got, man?
We should make a bet right
Yeah, I
now.
know.
Add it to the board. Make it pop up right here.
A digital
meter.
Like a digital board.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
I love Scream. I love all
I'm
4
with you,
Scream
dude.
movies.
I'm with
If they type the word
went and
Blumhouse
saw-
after Scream, are you like...
Yeah, right.
Maybe.
Or A24.
A24 makes
I would
good
love
ass movies.
A24.
Well, they
Or
did
even
the
Lighthouse,
Lighthouse.
dude. Blumhouse.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
Lighthouse
sure.
is kind of a horror movie, also.
Yeah. I thought
It
I
is.
thought it
It's a
was.
horror
Yeah.
fantasy
figured it was.
thriller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm a Scream guy all the way. Keep making them not keep making them, but as long as they're.
Did you like the Emma Roberts one?
Yes.
You did.
I went and saw it in the theater.
Scream 4?
I love
That's
Scream 4.
awesome.
Yeah,
That movie's
I
great.
love
Yeah.
all 4 of them.
So do I. I'm with
Saw
you.
all 4 of them in theater. Scream. The first one is such a
I love the first one.
classic.
I love
classic
the first
movie.
one.
It was so.
Well, it's interesting because they've kind of like evolved.
Yeah.
They, like initially they were the joke of the slasher movie.
Kind
they
of
knew the rules.
satire.
And
And
you
then
guys-
it kind
you
of
watched
like
the
really
show. You guys
became a
watched the
horror
show,
franchise.
I never watched the show.
I watched the first season.
Okay.
I never watched it.
I watched the first
Seemed like it
season.
was.
Scream's the one
Alright.
where they hit the person when they throw them in the lake. Is it that one?
No, that's I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Pretty much, but no, it's not. It's
Scream,
very similar. I love that
Scream
too.
opened with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
I know that.
I think he's
but
just
I thought
thinking
that
of
was the
Scary
same
Movie, which
I thought that.
does all of them.
Oh, that's
Fine.
right.
Yeah.
The
I love Scary Movie too.
No,
But,
I love
Oh
Scary
no, I
Movie.
thought that was all the same movie. Oh wait, no, because Freddie Prinze
kind of
Jr.
is.
was in that movie.
Yeah.
He's in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox.
Isn't there a killer in that movie?
Yes.
There's a killer in every Scary movie.
Yes. or 2.
Oh,
What You
that's
Did
right.
Last
It
Summer
was the
Freddie
fish.
Prinze Jr.
the-
and
That's
Sarah
the
Michelle
fish-
Gellar
the fisherman
and Jennifer
with the
Love
hook.
Hewitt.
Jennifer.
That was
Yeah.
a
That's
hell of a
it.
cast.
The fisherman
Yeah,
with
right.
the hook was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Ryan Filipino. Anyway, but no, Scream. Yeah, I'm a big Scream. It's too bad. Yeah, until you brought it up because you were like, well, the creator of the original one is not going to be involved. Like, Wes Craven, he passed away. Then I forgot about that until then I thought, well, he died. Oh, damn, Wes Craven died. But no, hopefully they do get Kevin Williamson in there because he's great. He was a creator of Dawson's Creek, I think, as well.
That makes sense.
He was one of those guys. Yeah. So anyway, but no, I love Scream. I don't know if I want. You just mentioned something I hadn't thought of. Is it going to be a continuation or a newer? I kind of.
They kept saying in the article. They kept saying like legacy sequel, like
Yeah.
a legacy sequel.
Well, here's what's
which they
interesting.
consider
Just
like the Star Wars movies.
I don't know if I want them to.
quickly, so Jamie Kennedy and Matthew Lillard were both on Collider Live over the past year.
Oh, okay.
And they were obviously they brought up Scream because
Right.
they're big parts of it. They
Right,
both said that if they were asked, they would come back.
How?
Well, Jamie Kennedy is alive, isn't he?
He got killed, I think, in the third one. Spoiler. Sorry.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so.
I was gonna say I knew Matthew.
Maybe they
Lillard
do a
was
Halloween thing
killed.
where they do a direct sequel or something.
Okay. Well, I'll be
They could
okay
do something
with
along that lines and take that.
that.
From
Hey, whatever
the
they do,
Halloween
they
franchise.
find a creative way.
Jamie
to do it.
Kennedy because he goes to all the conventions.
Well,
and
Nev
everything.
Campbell's
right.
still alive.
Nev
Yes,
Campbell's
sure.
alive.
So else
Courtney
Jamie
Cox is
Kennedy
alive.
did.
They probably bring her back
What
with
else
some
did
younger
Jamie Kennedy do?
characters
Right.
or something.
Well, they
like
did that with
that.
Scream 4.
Oh, that's
where,
true.
You know, so
That's true.
David Arquette.
That movie was weird,
Whatever,
but
but Scream
yeah.
5. I'll take it.
I'm gonna buy Scream as well. I'm down for a Scream 5. I'm more of a slasher guy than a paranormal
I don't.
horror
I don't
guy.
care about those at all.
But I do like those movies too because those are scary on a
Apparently
different
not.
level.
You sold it.
Well, the thing is, like, I think The Conjuring is Conjuring is the greatest horror movie I've ever seen. It's in my opinion, it's the
first
best horror movie I've ever seen. Yeah, and that's a paranormal movie. So it just depends, right? But I still like. I love my Halloweens.
Yeah.
Those are some of my all-time favorites. But I'm gonna buy Scream 5 because the thing is, you can do something. Scream 5, the Scream franchise is something you can take any time era and make it fit in there and do something new with what's going on in that time era. With Paranormal Activity, what can you do that's new that we haven't seen in
Yeah.
some of these type? And I'm not just talking about this franchise, but how many paranormal movies have we seen in the past 10, 15 years? There's been like
6.
over 100 of them. Not paranormal activity films, but films with these type of elements in them. So I'm definitely buying Scream 5 for sure.
Cool. Let's move on to the next set of topics, and we have a couple of Netflix projects that are up on the horizon. Shazam director David F. Sandberg has lined up his next movie with Netflix, and it is a horror film that is based on a project called The Unsound. And here's a little quick synopsis of it. It says it's about a psychiatrist who goes to an asylum where her mother used to work, but she's not visiting professionally as a consultant. She's there as a patient.
Ooh.
And she will unlock all kinds of dark, bloody secrets about the hospital, her mother, and herself. Just a note, he also did Annabelle Creation and Lights Out before doing Shazam, which got him the job for Shazam. The next one that this is going up against is a Sandra Bullock film from Christopher McQuarrie titled Unforgiven. It's also based on a, I believe, a British TV show, if I'm not mistaken. It finds Bullock playing Ruth Slater, a woman who's released from prison after serving a sentence for a violent crime, only to re-enter a society that refuses to forgive her past. Facing severe judgment from the place she once called home, Ruth's only hope for redemption is finding her estranged younger sister she was forced to leave behind. So, buy and sell. Which one are you choosing? Go ahead, Keith, and kick us off.
Yeah, this Unforgiven one, David F. Sam, I love Shazam. So
I watched it 2 nights ago.
Did you?
Yeah,
I haven't watched it in a while.
First time since I saw it in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I love that movie, man. So I'd like to lean to that one. It sounds like somebody just mentioned. I think it was Shutter Island.
Me.
Was it you? Yeah. Sounds kind of like that a little bit. So that does sound interesting. Do we know who's attached to the star at all?
Nothing yet. That's just I brought up his next project. So,
okay. Well,
no,
yeah,
but it'll probably be released next week.
Netflix,
I know, right? Yeah, because they do that, man.
Yeah.
But it does sound interesting. But I mean, come on, man. Christopher McQuarrie. Anything he's doing, I'm in. So
I'm 100% with you.
Yeah. So
Anything that McQuarrie is doing, and then you throw in Sandra Bullock
as well. Yeah.
Plus Netflix, Creative Freedom. It's a lot.
And this sounds.
I love Sandberg.
Love to see her in this kind of role. Yeah.
I love Sandberg, but and I can't wait to see him do another horror movie because I think he's great at it.
Yeah.
Like Annabelle Creation was a huge surprise. Huge surprise.
Well, people like that movie.
But
I thought
I love that.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, the jump scares in that movie is incredible. But
the first Annabelle sucks, but the Annabelle Creation is
you throw in Bullock, McQuarrie, and something that has like an Oscar performance written all over it for Bullock. I'm all in on that.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, so that's mine.
I gotta go with the David S. Sandberg.
Yeah,
that movie sounds. First of all, it's David S. Sandberg.
First thing you picked right all
I
day.
haven't seen Lights Out. I heard it's really good.
So good. It's based on his
short film,
which got him the job.
But I remember all the buzz around it
YouTube,
when it came out, and then he did Annabelle Creation, which is awesome. And then he did Shazam, which I love Shazam. So
he's 3 for 3 right now.
Yeah, anything that this guy's gonna do, I would, even if you just said new Netflix movie by David S. Sandberg, that's it. Boom, I'm still buying it.
I love the Shutter Island comparison.
That's the first thing I thought of was Shutter Island when I saw this, and I'm obsessed with psych wards, and especially when you infuse horror into it.
Now we're just taking my things.
Yeah. I am, and I love this type of thing. And who knows? I hope it's not. I don't know, because they're telling us she's a patient. So they usually do like someone's in a psych ward, like Shutter Island, and they realize
like a twist,
like they're a patient. Yeah. Maybe it's a reverse twist, like she's not a patient or something. Who knows? But
or it's not a psych ward or whatever.
The thing is, this concept and this director, I buy 100%. I love Sandra Bullock, but the David S. Sandberg.
I think Sandberg is 100% going to get a big star in this too.
I was going to say, I'm curious about the cast.
I think he's going to lock down someone that's going to really attract, because Netflix is starting to kind of pump their stuff up
for her and the mother. I'm really curious.
Yeah, I think it's going to be some 2 big names for sure.
Yeah, Elizabeth Moss.
It could work.
Brian, what are you buying, man?
Lupita.
Well, that one.
Oh,
that would be
how
so
cool that'd be. See her in this one.
That'd be a good one too. I'm same as Jacob. That's why I gave him the first
one.
He finally made a right choice, and yeah, like I said, I'm a sucker for anything with the could be crazy, like trying to figure out. Like those are my favorite types of movies. Trying to figure it out, because I'll sit there the whole entire movie trying to figure it out before it happens, and then I'm disappointed when I did figure it out. But I'm all about that. Give me that. I mean, Shazam was awesome. It's really hard to pick against Sandra Bullock, though. But
yeah,
I mean, I'd sound like a hypocrite if I didn't pick the one.
It's a different kind of horror movie for him too, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, on our next set of stories, we have two more projects that are going up against each other again. One Netflix, one non-Netflix. The first one is John Boyega has locked down his next project after Star Wars, which is Rebel Ridge, from Green Room director Jeremy Saulnier. And it is Boyega playing an ex-Marine who takes on a group of dirty cops in a high-velocity thriller that explores systematic American injustices through bone-breaking action sequences and dark humor. Bone-breaking, that's a great segue right there.
This synopsis is so funny to me.
And that is going up against Ben Affleck has locked down his next project, one of many, which is an action thriller Hypnotic from director Robert Rodriguez. And it tells the story of a detective who becomes entangled in a mystery involving his missing daughter and a secret government program while investigating a string of impossible high-end heists. Both sound pretty cool. Jacob, what do you think, man?
So the first one was easy because I was able to jump on that Sandberg thing, but this is so tough, man. This one is tough.
I know how much you love Green Room, too, which is why I did this.
So Green Room is amazing, and starring John Boyega, and that concept sounds incredible, but I love Ben Affleck, and I'm always rooting for Robert Rodriguez, and I still haven't seen Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, it's so good.
What?
I still haven't seen it, but people say it's amazing.
It's in my top 10.
I've heard people say that the special effects in it are the most advanced special effects we've gotten in a while.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
It's in my top 10, and we watched it in the front row, and you can even see
Front row 3D. Front row 3D.
Yeah.
It came out this year.
Came out February.
Oh my goodness, it feels like so long ago. Yeah. But it's so tough, but I'm going to lead towards Hypnotic because Ben Affleck, whether he's writing, directing, or starring in something, I'm drawn to whatever he's doing. And I'm curious to see. This seems like something different than Robert Rodriguez has done in a while. He did all those Machete films, which were fun, but they were kind of dumb. And I enjoyed them, but they're not for everyone. And then he did Alita Battle Angel, which there's a lot of positivity around it, but it didn't do great at the box office. So I'm always rooting for him to do something awesome. So I'm definitely gonna buy Hypnotic.
The studio that is involved with Hypnotic for Rodriguez, the CEO came out and said that Affleck and Robert Rodriguez will be working together on it. So that plays a huge part.
That's what excites me too, because Ben Affleck as a writer and director, he's not just gonna sign on to anything. He's gonna make sure that what he's doing is quality.
For me, I'm gonna buy Hypnotic solely based on the fact that this feels like an Annie up, like much more crazy version of The Assistant, which he starred in from Gavin O'Connor.
The Accountant.
The Accountant. Sorry, The Accountant. The Accountant.
Because I thought that's where you were going with that. Yeah.
Action, like down and dirty, but on a higher kind of like intense level.
Well, it sounds like a mystery
stamp.
Thriller too, as well, and it kind of. It reminds me of Gone Baby Gone. Have you seen
that's
Affleck's film? That's amazing.
Yeah,
so it kind of reminds me of that with him starring.
I love Affleck. I love Affleck in action movies. Like I love him in action movies. Like if he's given the freedom to just act in this type of role, he's great. If he has to direct, write, and act, he kind of has trouble sometimes. And Rodriguez is great at big budget stuff. I mean, from Alita this year and his past stuff, but nothing against the Rebel Ridge movie.
Yeah, that sounds interesting,
incredible.
and especially with the director. Yeah,
and John Boyega in that type of role, after not really seeing him a lot lately, sounds really good too. So,
John Boyega, I don't know if he should be in something called Rebel anything. It makes me think of there's a new Star Wars project.
Yeah, the Last Jedi line.
No, this is not Star Wars.
Literally, in the Resistance book, he says it about every other time he's in the book.
Are you serious? Really? I'm not looking forward to that. Well, thanks, Brian.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that sounds interesting. I really want to see Green Room. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm a Robert Rodriguez fanboy. I challenged you, Jake, to watch Once Upon a Time in Mexico earlier this year. You liked it, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, I remember you kind of. It's a crazy movie, but him and Ben Affleck, story like you said, missing daughters, definitely getting that Gone Baby Gone kind of vibe, and he's known. You mentioned he's done good with big budgets, which he can't do. Robert Rodriguez is a guy. He can get anybody to do anything in Hollywood. He can get any. So he's really great at pitching stories and telling stories.
Well, look at all the actors and actresses in the
that
Machete
he gets
movies.
exactly and all
just
those,
to make
exactly. He can get anybody to do anything. So because he's such a great. I mean, if you just watch an interview with him, tell me you'll be crazy. You don't fall in love with him.
Well, there's it's not an interview, but he does so I don't know if you guys have heard of the Chef Show on Netflix with Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
He does an episode with Robert Rodriguez. And it's a really cool interview.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah.
That he does, and you get a really different look at him outside of his movies, and I kind of started to get on this bandwagon a little bit.
Yeah,
after that, which is
man.
really good, so.
Yeah. I've been on since Desperado, man. I've been all over Robert Rodriguez. I love that guy from Dusk Till Dawn, even. So that's gonna be mine.
I'm Cell John Boyega's movie. I honestly think he's not a good actor. I'm not a fan of John Boyega.
Watch Attack the Block. Watch Attack the Block. That movie's so good.
Have you seen him in anything other than Star Wars?
Pacific Rim. What else has he been in?
He hasn't been in a whole lot. Pacific Rim is the one, but that movie was doomed from the start.
To me, I almost feel like he plays the same role in everything. Like, he's a very stiff... Like, he doesn't...
I would say, like, watch Attack the Block. He was very young when he did that, but I think I think he's better when he gets to be British, personally. So maybe it's he does a pretty decent American accent, but I'm with you. I'm kind of on the fence about him as well.
I don't think he. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of him in particular. I'd probably be more interested in it if someone else was doing it, and I'm almost kind of hesitant on the Ben Affleck one, only because it kind of sounds like it's something we've seen before.
Yeah.
Like, missing daughter, this is that, da-da-da, hello, Taken.
The thing with this is it's his missing daughter, which is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Who's going to play the daughter? That would be a good part.
Who knows how old she is? She could be
That's
4
if it's
or
like a little,
17, because, you know?
Yeah, but, I mean, it's Ben Affleck. I'm sure he'll do it with Robert Rodriguez, so I lean more towards buying that one. But, yeah. I'm fire sale on the first one.
If you were gonna buy the Boyega one, I was gonna tell you Green Room director is also the same one that did Hold the Dark on Netflix. The one that you hated.
I don't even know what Green Room is.
Oh, you don't know Green Room, but you know Hold the Dark, the Netflix movie with Jeffrey Wright about the guy who puts the head on, Alexander Skarsgård, in the snow.
Oh my god, that movie was so bad.
Which one did he do first?
Jeffrey Wright. Green Room first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Hold the Dark. I love Hold the Dark. I think it's a great movie.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it. It's a very different kind of movie. It's not his cup of tea, so I'm not surprised that he's sold.
Green Room is an interesting film. It's not really a horror movie. There's no like killer or paranormal.
Sir
Patrick
Stewart, right? Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, it was one of his last. It was one of his last movies. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Imogen Poots, I believe is.
Imogen Poots. Yeah. She's great. She's awesome.
I don't know how to pronounce
her name. Yeah, her name is
but she's awesome. So you should check out Green Room.
I really want to see that.
It's really interesting.
All right, well, we're gonna move on to our last segment here. Just what we're looking forward to watching this week, and there's a couple things that are coming out, but one main thing that I'm sure we're all gonna choose on this week. First of all, that's coming out in theaters. We have Ford v Ferrari, which is directed by James Mangold. One of my most anticipated movies of this year, specifically because of the car stuff. You have the reboot of Charlie's Angels from Elizabeth Banks, starring a pretty solid cast that only seems to be getting bigger over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, right.
The Good Liar with Ian McKellen and
Helen
Mirren. And then the big one, Disney Plus is finally dropping, and we have The Mandalorian coming.
I can't believe it's
along with
here.
Let's not forget though, we also have
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp coming out,
so
and the Christmas movie with Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader.
Oh really? Is that this week?
It's a one-named movie.
It's she plays his daughter or sister or something along that line.
It's like one word. It's like Santa.
Does it have claws in the name?
Or no, it's literally a one word.
It's just one word.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So a couple things come out.
Oh, it's Noelle.
Noelle. There you go. Noelle. Yeah.
I knew it wasn't Santa.
She's Santa's sister.
She's Santa's sister or Santa's daughter or something
like that. Yeah.
But yeah, so we have a couple things coming out in theaters, a couple streaming things. Jacob, what are you looking forward to this week, man? Pick one, sell the rest.
It's so tough. No, all right. So when I was first looking at the list, I was like, "Oh, it's Ford v Ferrari done." I was like, "Wait a minute,
yeah, right.
No way." It's crazy to think like I'm excited for Ford v Ferrari. Like it's James Mangold, right? But then The Mandalorian, I'm just on another level. Obviously, it's Mandalorian.
Why did you put The Mandalorian?
We're gonna like.
Okay, are we all The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Okay, let's take Mandalorian.
I didn't even let them answer. But hold on, I'm drooling for The Mandalorian. But I will say, Ford v Ferrari All right, it's James
I'm
Mangold.
hearing great.
He's my favorite director working right now. And with these two starring, and the concept is amazing. But if you know our channel, you know us. We're huge Star Wars guys. It has to be The Mandalorian. But to a certain extent, I'm looking forward to all these things.
Yeah, right.
So
I was hoping he'd ask me first, say, what are you looking forward to? And I was going to just say, yes. Just yes.
No,
sorry.
No,
We're
yeah.
not letting you guys answer.
You kind of help. Are you the Mandalorian for sure or no?
Yes, but I'll...
It's a yes or no question. No.
Yes.
Okay, let's take the Mandalorian out of the question then.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm Ford v Ferrari. You're Ford v Ferrari.
Well, you have also a little tab here. Any current shows you've been watching? The next episode of Watchmen.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
I told you would get hooked on that show.
Listen.
I told you.
I still haven't watched episode 2.
Jacob.
I'm falling behind.
You and I are switching
I have
chairs
a
next
3-day
time.
weekend. I'm off Monday. Maybe I'll
watch
catch
them.
up.
But
This show's incredible, right?
I'm trying not to. I don't want to get into it because there's a lot going on. But
Just Keith's Watchmen breakdown.
Yeah.
man, I hope.
I told you were gonna flip out.
Goodness gracious.
So there are there's a couple some reviewers were given the chance to watch the first 6 episodes.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
And they said that episode 2 and 3 were good, but they were
just keep.
4, 5, and 6 are better.
Okay.
Goodness.
So
Jacob,
I'm still gonna watch it.
Man.
I was
Shame.
just look. I
Get
don't
the bell.
know. I'm just confused by the first episode. I don't
I
really
know.
know what's going on.
I don't know what's
It
going
clears
on,
up.
but I love it.
it clears up.
It
Do
does.
you know what's going on?
Yes.
Even without watching the episodes after that, like you understood.
Oh, because I've read it.
You
and I
understood
saw-
what was
not
going
to-
on after episode 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as I watched it, and that's why I had so many questions I wanted to ask y'all. They were
Yeah.
answered right away. And as soon as I watched it, oh, okay. And yeah.
I have no
I'm gonna
idea.
do some catching up.
I have
tonight.
no idea what's ever going on in the show, and then I go look it up, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's how I am, and then I like it that
Yeah.
much better. I have no idea what's
Right.
going
You should
on.
read it.
Brian, what are
really
you
like
picking
it.
outside of the Mandalorian?
I just want to piss you off and say Charlie's Angels just to piss you off, but
That was
Ford v
alright.
Ferrari looks.
Honestly, I'm kind of getting psyched for Charlie's
Yeah.
Angels.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going
love
with
the
low
original ones.
expectations, looking to have some fun.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
am.
I love Elizabeth Banks, so I'm gonna root for her.
I'm just looking, and Kristen Stewart looks like non-Kristen Stewart.
See, that's my only thing. She looks so out of place.
She does, but she looks like she's having
I think
fun.
that's the
which
point.
she hasn't had in a long time.
Sure. I guess.
She got criticized for so long for
yeah,
acting.
for so much stuff.
She's like opening up now and being.
Seems
a
like
different
it, so yeah,
actress,
it's a good point.
And it's got Naomi Scott and
I love her.
a lot of good
Love her.
actresses in there. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're kind of stupid to not pick a movie with Matt Damon and Christian Bale.
Well, and the big thing there is that did you see that both of
Yeah.
them are going for leading actor
That's what I
nominations? They're
What?
apparently that good in the movie.
Really? Wow, yeah, man. Shoot,
This
no,
movie's
I
gonna be
don't know.
crazy
Yeah,
good.
I know.
This movie's gonna be crazy good.
It's this week, right?
This week,
coming up
yeah.
this week. All right.
Man, TV and movies. It's a great time to be alive. Right?
I will say, just The Good Liar looks incredible, though. I really want to see that.
Those two together look fun.
It looks awesome. So.
And I'm of course looking forward to Arrow. Like I haven't been able to keep it.
I missed the last.
I'm just like an episode or 2 behind on each show, Arrowverse show, but I've been watching Arrow every week.
This last
This
week's
last
episode
one.
of Arrow is awesome.
Yeah, I've been like
It's
itching
going.
how-
It's the place it's going is really cool.
you know,
I
I
did
think-
not see coming what they did at the end of the previous
3?
episode.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, we can talk about it. It's 2 weeks
Yeah.
out.
Okay, so
How
his kids
they're connected now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
how they get brought
Yeah.
into the
That's awesome.
future, and I'm like, or
Awesome.
the past actually, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
whoa, because I thought it was going to be completely separate. They're just telling these stories, and then
Well,
at
and you
the
hated
end,
the flash forwards.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
you hated
I
it.
do still,
I-
but
same here,
I'm more interested now that they're working with him now. Like
Right.
it's all coming together. So I didn't expect that. So
Well, and here's
now
the cool
I'm-
thing.
Who posted
Now
the
I'm
thing about
in
the
on it.
comic? Was that you that posted the thing about the comic? Is it a comic?
Well, the Canary
Green Arrow
show
and the
is coming. They're doing a Canary spinoff.
they reference the canaries in the
Yeah,
show.
And
Yeah.
now it makes more sense because she's literally being trained by her father to be the new Green Arrow.
Do we know? Is it going to be set in this?
We don't know. It could.
Because as soon as that happened, I went, okay, well,
Well,
that's
all right, because we know, isn't Katie Cassidy going to be in that show?
And the other Black
Oh, is
Canary.
she?
Yeah, they both are.
Oh, I thought it'd be.
They're-
So it would make
they're
sense
both
if,
gonna be.
if
The
she's,
cop one?
somehow they
Yes.
stay in the current timeline and
Yeah, so Katie
Green
Cassidy,
Arrow then.
her name is Julianne Harkavy in real life. I don't know her, I forget her name on the show.
Dinah.
And then
Dinah.
they actually
Dinah.
call her Dinah like
And
a
then-
real group.
and then Oliver's daughter, the three of them. It's the Green Arrow. It's Green Arrow and,
And
the
the
Canaries.
Canaries,
Yeah. All right.
And she's being trained by her father. So now it kind of goes. It makes sense.
Cool.
Which is cool.
I'm in.
It
Do
didn't
you
make sense
think his
before.
son-
Yeah, right. That's why.
Do you think his son and Diggle's son are going to be
Yeah.
in the show?
Yeah.
Like
I
as
want
main
them to
characters?
be. I
Well,
like
he's the
Diggle's
new-
son. I like Diggle's son. I think he's a good character.
Yeah.
He still has a lot of room to grow, but he's a kind of cool character.
I've been wondering the whole time, like, because based on the last episode, like, how is he? He's not clearly Lila's not his mother.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
but it makes sense.
And then when they showed what happened with he clearly adopted him.
Yeah.
So I
couldn't believe they killed what's his name's daughter.
Right?
Daughter.
I know, right? That was actually sad.
And she was
crazy.
I liked her character too.
Yeah, she was good.
But I'm actually
he'd be
like,
devastated.
I didn't want the character to die, but it showed me like, damn, they're not afraid to do that, like, which is interesting. So we'll see where that takes that character.
Yeah. It's almost over, right? It's 10 episodes, I think.
It's got 6 left.
Episode 4. It's going by quick, but I'm gonna get caught up on. But I'm looking forward to Arrow every week for sure.
Yeah, pretty soon we're gonna start hearing somebody say.
Don't even.
All right, well that's gonna do it for Apocaflix now. Thank everybody for watching. As always, again, I am Jacob. That's Keith, Brian, and Jake over there on the controls. We love talking about movies and TV shows, hearing your guys' thoughts on our topics, and let us know what you thought of all of our topics in the comment section, as always. And look forward to us. We're going to be covering The Mandalorian.
We're probably going to do an after show.
Upcoming week.
Yeah,
we're talking about doing an after show.
Talking about skipping work.
Normally, I know, right? So we're trying to figure out what time the show airs and everything like that, which isn't confirmed yet.
They're saying that the streaming service drops at 6 a.m., but we don't exactly know when the show is going to drop. They've been hearing, with the streaming service, we've been hearing that they may drop it like an actual show at like 6 p.m.
I don't know why they just don't tell people so everyone can plan around it, Because I might be up at 6 a.m. watching that. Yeah. But anyways, look forward to our coverage of that. I'm sure we'll talk about the other Disney Plus stuff as well, like Lady in the Tramp. We'll do reviews on all the stuff coming out. So look forward to that. Again, thank you for watching. We will see you all next time. Hey everyone, Jacob Bartley here. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out something similar from Apocaflix Movies, click this video up here. If you want something a little bit different, check out this video down here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to Apocaflix Movies and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.